This is Eagle Owl, and today we're gonna go ahead and talk about CJ Gardner Johnson. He checked Emmanuel Acho, also Kevin Patullo. Look like it will be his job as the OC to lose. And lastly, Kellen Moore, man, he's stealing our staff. We're gonna talk about it, but let's get straight into it. All right, before we hop straight into it, shout out BetUS. Use promo code U2150. And of course, on your first deposit, get 150% boost. And on your next two deposits, you get 125% boost. Again, shout out to BetUS. And you can do this up to $2,000. All right, so before we hop straight into it, let's get into some quick hits, man. Today, or as of yesterday, I should say, you can franchise tag a player you want to stay. Now, the last time the Eagles used the franchise tag was literally almost a decade ago, a little over a decade ago, and that was on Deshaun Jackson back in 2012. So I doubt we're going to use it ever. That's just not the way we conduct business in Philadelphia, which I like. If a player want to leave, let him leave. You offer him something, he don't want to stay, give him the freedom to leave. But some of these numbers for these franchise tags, you better off just signing the player. Let's go over some of these numbers. So for a quarterback, it's $41 million, linebacker $27 million, wide receiver 25, O line 25, defensive end 24, defensive tackle 23, cornerback 20, safety 19, close to 20 mil. Then you have tight end 14, running back 13, and special teams 6. Again, those numbers are really high, and Howie Roseman just don't condone, franchise tagging a player at all. So I like that business model. Again, if a player doesn't want to be there, don't force them to stay. The franchise tag is so weak. It's so weak. I don't get why teams use it, but that's what teams do. That's what they do. But it's a weak method, in my opinion. All right, so some Eagles news, I guess. Nick Gates, he's officially been released. Center, backup center for the Philadelphia Eagles. At least he got a ring, man. At least he got a time to celebrate. Nick Gates, but Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson were the centers. But Nick Gates, he was a good backup. He was serviceable. I mean, that's what he was. So hopefully Nick Gates get opportunity somewhere else, or hell, we might bring him back. We might bring him back and see what he got as a backup, or as a what they say practice squad guy. So it's around that time guys get released, trying to make some roster moves, and it seemed like the Eagles are chilling right now. I know we just came off a Super Bowl, but it seemed like we chilling. We not really making any moves yet. Before we talk about moves or coaching staffs getting pulled, we're gonna get into that topic. AJ Brown decided to put a mannequin in his house with his Super Bowl uniform. Got the helmet, got the shirt, got the pants, and his girlfriend said like he ain't wash it. He just put it on the mannequin, bought a 6'2" mannequin, and just put the uniform on him. So safe to say, AJ Brown is very happy the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So, shout out to AJ Brown, man, being AJ Brown. Now, like I said, we're gonna get into the topics. Let's talk about Kellen Moore, man. He's just still in the staff. He's still in the staff, and is officially reported. I seen it by Josina Anderson first that Doug Nussmeier will be the offensive coordinator, which was expected. That's his guy. Been with him for a very long time as the QB coach. Followed him to Los Angeles, followed him to Philadelphia. Now he's going with him to New Orleans. And that's what I mean by the Rooney rule. It's like, come on, Jamal Singleton, as good of a year he had, I just knew the job wasn't his. Like, even when you look at a guy like Christian Parker on the defensive side, those guys definitely deserve interviews because the way they've been coaching. But you don't want to, because they're a minority, black, Hispanic, women coming up in the ranks. So will women start getting, the Rooney Rule treatment? I don't know. Far as in the future, it's just like wasting their time. It's wasting their time, even though everybody and their mama knew. Like, Doug Nussmeier is going to be the offensive coordinator. But what I did not expect, TJ Paganetti, if I'm saying the last name correctly, I did not expect him to leave. So for the guys that don't know, he was like the run specialist slash like offensive line assistant, something like that. So he's basically, to break it down in lamer terms, is that he was under Jeff Stoutland's shadow quite a bit. No, Jeff Stoutland get all the credit, but there's guys that Jeff Stoutland worked with. So look, it was a smart move by the Saints. I can't front. It was a smart move by Kellen Moore, because now he goes there and he could run like the run specialist and really coach the offensive line. He don't have to be under the Jeff Stoutland, shadow. I would say this about that move. Yeah, I hate it. I hate that coaching staff is getting pegged. Pause. At the same time, it gives these guys opportunity, and it's like every time I hear somebody get taken from Howie Roseman's staff, like, oh, this guy worked with Howie or this guy worked with Howie. I think I feel the same way about Jeff Stoutland. As long as Jeff Stoutland's here, we'll be fine. No matter who is his assistants and this, that, and the third, they definitely deserve opportunities. But as long as we got Jeff Stoutland, we will be fine. Again, the Doug Nussmeier thing doesn't surprise me at all, at all. But the TJ Paganetti thing was like, oh wow, Kellen Moore making some moves in New Orleans. He definitely making some moves. So I hate it. I definitely hate it, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Kellen Moore, stop snooping around, man. You're doing too much snooping around in Philadelphia, so leave us alone. You got two guys from us. Leave us alone. All right, so let's get into this next topic. Let's talk about CJ Gardner Johnson. Let's talk a little football just a bit. So CJ Gardner Johnson was on Twitter the other day, and he had some words to say that Emmanuel Acho quote tweeted the same tweet that Nolan Smith quoted, and this is what he said: "Stop comparing us. Just stop. Don't compare us to anybody. We are us. Like, we did this. No, Cowboys can't do this in one off season. Emmanuel Acho, he been flip flopping and not standing his ground. 1 minute he love us, 1 minute he hates us, 1 minute we not going anywhere. That's why a lot of people don't like him, because it's like he try to play the 50. If you're gonna say what you say, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Don't apologize. This, that, and the third. Stand your ground. And he's not standing his ground. And then about those, he like, oh yeah, they got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, this, that, and the third. That took a couple years to develop. You think they're gonna pull a AJ Brown? You think they're gonna pull Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore? You think they're gonna just pull a great coaching staff, get all these players within one off season? It's not gonna happen, Emmanuel Acho. We were special. Eagles were definitely special. So again, I don't think the Cowboys do it. Hell, they don't even have a Nick Sirianni. You think Brian Schottenheimer is a Nick Sirianni? No. No, he's not. You think they're gonna get a Saquon Barkley? No, they're not. No, they're not. So cut it out, Emmanuel Acho. I like that the players are going at him. Yeah, we won the Super Bowl. We at the top of the top. Eagles fans could talk whatever they want. The players could talk whatever they want, and I'm happy they are. Happy they are, man. And last but not least, let's get into some more coaching news. So I'm hearing that the offensive coordinator job is Kevin Patullo, no job to lose. But let's let Jeremy Fowler say it.
The Saints. So what are the Eagles doing at OC?
Yeah, the parade's over. They got to fill a job now. So I'm told that they're going to probably line up interviews midweek, Tuesday or Wednesday. They're going to start getting that in order. So watch for pass game coordinator Kevin Patullo. He's considered a strong candidate. Some people around the league believe that he will eventually be the favorite for this job because he's been a right-hand man to Nick Sirianni. He's worn a lot of different hats inside that building over the last 4 years. So they certainly could reward him.
That's what's going around, man. Y'all know how I feel about this. I will say this: that every time we did it, we promoted within. As far as I can remember in recent history, it did not work. Doug Peterson with Press Taylor did not work. Nick Sirianni with Brian Johnson did not work. Now, am I saying Kevin Patullo, is he going to work or not? I'm not sure. Does he deserve the opportunity? Absolutely. He deserves the opportunity, but the history is telling me this not gonna work. And I mentioned this time and time again. During the regular season, I wasn't impressed by the passing game far as like the play designs. It's not like the play designs wowed you. It didn't. I mean, it was okay. You had games, you had moments, but overall, it wasn't like Detroit passing game or something like that. It was okay. It was an okay passing game, and to promote him, it's like okay, let's see if this worked. Do he do the same things Kellen Moore did? We don't know. But again, he been Nick Sirianni right hand man since what? Since the Chargers, or it was since Indianapolis? Like he always been with Nick Sirianni. And hell, he made it a case like he wants that offensive coordinator job. Like when you listen to his interviews, especially during the Super Bowl, he want that job. He want the opportunity to show he can call plays and do this thing at a high level. And hell, maybe if he do, he could easily get a head coaching job because a lot of people take our coordinators. Hell, Brian Johnson, I don't think he was the best, but he was getting head coaching, interviews. But he eventually went to Washington. And he's getting head coaching interviews on a collapse year. So imagine Kevin Patullo do some positive things. He's going to be the next head coach. And again, does he deserve it? Sure. But I need some grays in the hair. I need some guys that been here for a minute. I think experience helped us because same thing with Brian Johnson. I would ask about Kevin Patullo. Kellen Moore, we started 2-2. Kellen Moore realized after the bye some things needed to be changed. Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni, they never adjust. That was the problem with that coaching staff. They never adjust. And you've seen the collapse. Like once we lost to the 49ers, it wasn't like, okay, we got our heads blown off. We need to fix some things up. No, we never fixed those things up. We just couldn't beat the blitz. Simple as that, man. So it's the same thing with Kevin Patullo. Once you somewhat figured out, can you adjust? I don't know. I don't have any history of that. So we'll see what the Eagles do. I think the higher up should definitely be involved. The Howie Rosemans, the Jeffrey Lurie. Hell, I think you should even hear Jalen Hurts out and see if you like him or not. Just saying, man. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel? CJ Gardner Johnson, going at Emmanuel Acho. Also, Kevin Patullo. Do we like him? Do we dislike him? And Kellen Moore. Stop stealing our coaching staff. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.